I've had to make a decision in my life, and I made it. I was facing two possible options. I could either stay on my hedonic treadmill, overstimulate myself, then make a pause from cheap dopamine activities, overstimulate myself again, and repeat this cycle for the rest of my life. Or I completely abandon this crap from my life and start to exit this miserable road, which didn't do me any favor at all. I was really done with it. I was just thinking, I don't know how my life will turn out, but I will stop being a consuming victim that falls into the same trap over and over. The absolute final cataclysmic event for my decision was the moment I'd seen a clip in the Star Wars Andor series where Luthen Rael said the following: "The Empire has strangled us so slowly that we've hardly noticed. I just have one question. Wouldn't you give it all for something real?" This question didn't get out of my head for days. Wouldn't you give it all for something real? And when I was walking down a pathway in my hometown's fields, I made the final decision. I don't touch my phone for the next day, and after that, only once a day for a few minutes to check my messages. That's it. No YouTube, no social media, no podcasts, nothing. I was willing to give it all for something real. Writing scripts for my YouTube channel, not this one but an older one, going for walks, and going into the gym without any stimulation. And then, after a few days, I noticed that this was a mistake. My brain has bombarded me with thoughts all day long, to the degree that it was almost unbearable. So, I decided to soften the rules. I added long-form podcasts and Harry Potter audiobooks to my list of acceptable technology usage, while still focusing on additionally spending time only with my thoughts as well. This was much better as it turned out. The point why I'm telling you this is this: I've made this final decision to give it all for something real, and I embody this mindset to this day. I don't want soullessness in my life. I've had more than enough of it, but life is nuanced. I decided to be radically honest with myself and said that I had indulged in enough hedonism. And then I was radically honest with myself a few days later and realized that it wasn't the right strategy to cut content consumption out of my life entirely. Looking back, my life in the hedonic trap was probably an addiction to overstimulation that I cultivated to escape work, frustration, and failures in the short term. But as you probably know, this is a recipe for disaster in the long term. When I decided to give everything for something real, I've decided to risk being unhappy, aka not stimulated for the next days, weeks, or even months, but therefore get the opportunity to increase my base level of fulfillment radically. And as a nice bonus, my base level of happiness probably as well. My YouTube channel did fairly well, but fundamentally, it was no success, and I additionally lost fun doing it. But I decided to do it until a better opportunity arose. It was a walk through the desert until I got the idea for this channel. I used the skills I gained from building my old channel, learned from my mistakes, and look where I am now. You would never see this video if I hadn't decided to exit the modern hedonic treadmill. If you really want something, you can have it. The only question is, what is it that you really want? I knew what I definitely didn't want, so I walked in the opposite direction, and now I've found something I really enjoy. I've heard from several people that if you deprive old people of their tasks, their skills crumble radically into pieces. Their bodies and minds deteriorate because they are not needed anymore. Today, we deprive a lot of young people, my past self included, of their tasks and duties. Do you have to escape boredom through creative play with other kids? Here is TikTok. You have to get your life together to attract a woman? Here is corn. You want to find work you are good at and that you find meaningful? Here is a middle finger for you. We demoralize you up until the point you stop trying, inflate your money, and put you into a little cubicle to pay taxes and die afterwards. But hey, you know what's the neat part? You peasant can enjoy Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. I use harsh words, but this is how I feel about it. There is something rotten underneath this passive indulgence, something that isn't in the best interest of people's well-being. Now we can complain all day long about the world, and I could complain all day long that in the past I wasted a lot of time, but this leads to nothing. The world or your past self are the wrong enemies to fight. Choose your enemies wisely. For me, it was the shallow endeavors and the part of me that gravitated towards them, despite the knowledge that they didn't benefit my life in the long term. I started a fight against them. It's an ongoing fight, but I'm winning. In episode 4, Luthen said, "I said I know you. I know hell. I know what I've been told about you. I imagine the rest. I imagine your hatred. I imagine that no matter what you tell me or them, you will ultimately die fighting these bastards. And that's why I'm asking you, wouldn't you rather give it all at once for something real than sacrifice useless pieces till there's nothing left? Sometimes it's time to burn an unwanted past and go all in on something new. Smart and cautious, but all in. Maybe this video is a sign for you to change something in your life. Join the free Better Human community if you want, and have a wonderful day.